I'm from the UK. I'm from Newcastle, but actually I studied in London at the London School of Economics, and that's where I got into Oikos. Within my first couple of weeks, I'd hunted out the sustainable economics and management side of things. And I was involved in Oikos London for a couple of years, and then when this opportunity came up on the international level, I thought, why not? And so I just graduated last summer, and then 4 months later, I went to Switzerland, and now I work from Switzerland. The first couple of months are quite hectic because you need to learn the processes of the whole side of the organisation. You're managing an international network, so you need to be able to get to grips with finance, communication, strategy, like just emailing chapters and things like this. So you need to familiarise yourselves with all of the processes. But then once I'd learnt this side of things, it just became a lot more fun. And myself and the executive board, we began to work really well as a team. I also have an advisor, Mike Kelly, who works at KPMG, and I meet up with him every couple of months. And he helps me a lot more with the broader picture, looking at the strategic goals of Oikos. On a typical day, I roll out of bed and share a pot of coffee with one of my 2 Swiss flatmates in my beautiful apartment overlooking St. Gallen. And then I wander downhill to the Oikos offices, and there there'll usually be the Oikos assistant already there who helps with the administrative side of Oikos. So quite often I'll start the day with a Skype call with Stepan, the head organiser of the spring meeting, about the next steps for this. Then I'll have some time to do emails, because you get quite a lot of emails from chapters asking about things or applying for projects like the Project Leadership Programme or Project Development Fund. At some point in the day, the Oikos PhD fellows come by usually. They work 30% for Oikos, so they're in the office quite a lot, and they help me out with projects. Yeah, what else do I do? About once a month I go travelling to a different country, either representing Oikos in like social and environmental meetings of large organisations that want student input, or going to conferences just to meet new people and spread the word about Oikos, or potentially visiting projects like the Oikos Winter School. I think one of the main things I've learned so far this year is people management, and how to work with different levels of people who are much more experienced than me, people who are a little bit more senior than me, but who I'm working on projects with, and learning how to say, this is great, but it could be better here. Also working with my peers and making sure that we all have our voice, but then we remain effective in our decision making, because you don't want to break down into a student organisation where we just discuss things all the time and never take decisions and move forward. And also working with the chapters, because you're communicating with people from 20 different countries, so you can imagine the range of cultural differences, and it's learning how to be sensitive to all of the differences and who you're speaking to, and how you can work with them to get the most out of that relationship. I'd love to be an NGO manager in 20 years' time, like a really good NGO manager in 20 years' time of one of the brilliant environmental NGOs. But I know that between now and then, I want to work in loads of different areas, private sector, like government, and all of this, just to get a completely multidisciplinary education.